I just want to make it clear, I'm not the legal fiction corporate entity defendant.
Okay.
Maybe
All right.
if I give
Sir,
a name.
you're allowed
Objection,
one
it violates
minute.
my due process. Objection,
not
that
to
violates my right to a
return.
personal bond.
He's
I have
not-
a
he's
right,
not
as
to
you said,
appear
to
at
be
night.
innocent without guilty.
All right, everyone. Today we're looking at one of the most extreme sovereign citizen encounters ever caught on camera. This guy is completely convinced that his arguments override the law, and he repeats them with total confidence, even though they make no legal sense, that he truly believes that loudly rejecting the system will somehow make the rules stop applying to him. But as we all know, that's not how real life works, and the courtroom is not the place for make-believe arguments. So let's jump right in and watch what happens when a calm, no-nonsense judge puts an end to it and delivers the firm reality check this man clearly wasn't expecting.
And then we've got Mr. Martin.
He claims to be an attorney, so here to speak with Mr. Phantom.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, this is 241388, the state of Michigan versus Eric Joseph Martin. Sir, can you tell me your name?
Oh, not the Romans Desticate Trust, if that's what you're wondering.
Okay. Are you going to tell me your name or not, Mr. Martin?
I just want to make it clear, I'm not the legal fiction corporate entity defendant.
Okay.
Maybe
All right.
if I give a
Sir,
name.
if you require accommodations to use the court because of disabilities, or if you require a foreign language interpreter to help you fully participate in court proceedings, please let the court know immediately. You are here today on count 1, domestic violence. There's an allegation that on June 8th of 2024 in the city of Taylor at 9074 Clipper, that you did make an assault or an assault and battery upon Crystal Nicole Martin, a resident or former resident of your household, contrary to MCL 750.81 parent 2. This is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail and or $500. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Those are the charges against you. You've been brought to court on a misdemeanor charge, and you have the following basic rights: to plead guilty, not guilty, or to stand mute. If you stand mute, a plea of not guilty will be entered, and you may plead no contest with the permission of the court. You have the right to a trial by a jury and to have the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to an attorney appointed at public expense if you are indigent, meaning you cannot afford to pay for an attorney. If the offense requires a minimum jail sentence, this charge does not have a minimum jail sentence. The court determines that it might sentence you to jail, and the appointing authority, which is the court, would decide if you are indigent and appoint counsel if you are eligible. You may have to repay the expense of the appointed attorney, and you may contest your ability to pay the ordered fees if the court attempts to collect any costs for an attorney, and the court must then determine your ability to pay. Mr. Fanto, a court-appointed defense attorney, is present in the courtroom. It's my understanding he attempted to meet with you, and he was advised that you did not want to speak with him. Is that correct?
Because of the unfairness of the laws that would fraudulently assume if I take a lawyer that I would be giving up my right to be one of the sovereign people and be fraudulently assumed to be a legal fiction defendant, yes, I
Okay.
So here's what really happened. His lawyer was clearly trying to tell him to stop with the sovereign citizen arguments and take the situation seriously. Instead of listening to professional advice, he decided to ignore it and handle everything on his own, which only made things worse for him in open court. The moment someone walks into a courtroom using these kinds of claims, the outcome is usually already clear. It's like showing up to a formal process, but refusing to follow the basic rules everyone else has to follow. That approach never works and only hurts the person trying it. He seems to believe that if he talks long enough or uses complicated language, the judge will somehow get overwhelmed and drop the case. But that's not how courts operate, and it never has been. In the end, the law doesn't bend just because someone refuses to accept it. What do you think? Does he truly believe these ideas? Or is he just refusing to face reality?
I have refused that a lawyer
Mr. Martin,
fraudulently
Mr. Martin,
represents me.
if you have a trial, you have the following rights: to call witnesses to speak for you at trial, and you could get an order signed by the court to require those witnesses to come to court. You have a right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You have a right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent. And if you chose not to be a witness on your own behalf, the prosecuting official could not comment on your refusal to testify. You also have the right to be presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. If you plead guilty or no contest and your plea is accepted, you will not have a trial of any kind, and you will give up the rights that I just listed to you. You also have the right to be released on bond. If you are now on probation or parole and you enter a plea of guilty, or a finding of guilt is made by a judge or a jury, it may result in a violation of your probation or parole. The court can sentence you to jail and fines plus cost, and the court must tell you on the record the name of the offense, the mandatory minimum jail sentence, if any, and the maximum possible penalty for the offense, including jail, fines, and both, which I've already done. Fines, costs, and other financial obligations imposed by the court must be paid at the time of assessment, except when the court allows otherwise for good cause shown. If you are not able to pay due to financial hardship, you can contact the court immediately and request a payment alternative. So those are your constitutional rights going forward, Mr. Martin.
I want to make it clear I have been legally arrested here by barred away, okay, because he just went by her lies saying I kicked her. As soon as he walked through my door, I'm the one that called 911 on Crystal Martin, okay?
All right,
And,
sir, you have a constitutional right to remain silent, and anything you say with respect to this case could potentially be used against you in a court of law. So I would advise you at this time to remain silent with respect to the actual facts or allegations listed in the complaint and misdemeanor complaint, which I've read to you. Sir, are you gainfully employed?
I wish to finish before I answer your questions. I will answer your questions. I want to finish exercising my First Amendment right, freedom of speech, and continue what I was saying.
I honestly can't stop wondering what's going through his mind at this point. The judge clearly told him to stop talking because it was only making things worse for him. Yet somehow he thought the best next step was to blame his own sister. That choice alone says a lot about how disconnected he is from the situation. He genuinely seemed to believe that pointing fingers at a family member would magically solve his problems. In what world does that make a judge suddenly change their mind and let someone walk away, instead of taking responsibility? He kept digging himself deeper without realizing it. What really stands out is the confidence on his face. He looks convinced that he's saying something smart or clever, even as everything around him is falling apart. From the outside, it's obvious this strategy is backfiring badly, yet he keeps pushing forward as if he's winning. Watching this unfold feels like seeing someone make every possible wrong move while fully believing they're doing great. The reality is simple. Accountability matters in court, and avoiding it only leads to more trouble.
Oh,
Again,
okay, sir,
legally-
you are to appear in court as directed. I'm not going to argue with you, Mr. Martin. I understand your sovereign citizen argument. It's not the first time I've seen it or heard it. You are under the jurisdiction of this court. This court has jurisdiction under the Michigan Constitution and the laws of the state of Michigan. You are charged with a 93-day misdemeanor, sir. You've been advised of all of your rights. Okay, you have a First Amendment right, certainly, but you are here for an arraignment, not to lecture me on sovereign citizen beliefs, okay? I'm trying to get you through this and make sure you understand the process. You are to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number. You're to have no contact with the complainant, Crystal Martin, in this case. Do you understand me?
Well, I do not understand in that I do not stand under the charges, the false fraudulent charges, but I do comprehend. But as I was saying, I was illegally arrested in violation of my due process rights. There's not sufficient evidence for my arrest that I did any domestic violence. Bardaway just arrested me anyway. There's no video of me assaulting her. She did not see it. She just told a lie. I actually
Sir,
filed a
do you
PPO on her.
Sir, do you understand that they have no contact with Crystal Martin?
And then you need to tell her, do not come to my house. She keeps coming to my house so she can set me up with these lies because my sister
You're not-
keeps letting her over. I have no,
You're
I don't
not-
want to contact her, but she
Okay,
needs to stop
sir,
coming
I
over to
don't
my
think
house. You know, I've been living
understand
there for
why
33 years.
Miss Maudlin,
Let
that
me
will
finish
just
talking. I have the
go.
first minute right here to
Unfortunately,
talk. I have the
Mr. Martin, it's clear to me at this point that you have no respect for the court. I believe that you're a danger. I can't get any information from you as to whether or not you have another place to reside, whether or not you understand the court's no contact provision. I need to know that you understand what I am telling you, because I am attempting to set a bond on your case. And if you want a bond on your case, you've waived your right to an attorney. And I'm trying to figure out, do you have another place to stay? Do you understand what no contact means? And if you're not going to express to me that you have an understanding of what I'm saying, and if we can't get on the same page about that, then I'm inclined to not give you a bond. Do you understand me, Mr. Martin?
I comprehend you, yes.
Okay, do you understand that I said you were to have no contact with Crystal Martin?
Yes, but she needs to stop coming over to my house. I'm not trying to contact her. She's coming over to my house and she can make false allegations like this, set me up so she can have the whole house to herself, her and my sister. This is what the whole agenda is of her with my sister. Lisa Martin tried this before, even though I proved to the court before the video of my sister Lisa Martin trying to set me up with lies and try swinging at me, assaulting me. I have this on video, saying that Crystal Martin here. I have her on video swinging at me and dealing with the prior case she tried to bring me.
Oh wow, here comes the sympathy act. Suddenly he's playing the victim and acting like the world is against him. But when both your former partner and your own sister step forward in the same case, that's not bad luck. That's a clear pattern that shouldn't be ignored. Situations like that don't happen by accident. Just like so many others who use these arguments, he refuses to take any responsibility for his actions. In his mind, it's never his fault. Instead, he convinces himself there's some huge plot involving the judge, law enforcement, and now even his own family, all supposedly working together against him. That explanation is easier than admitting he made mistakes. At some point, you have to stop and ask the obvious question. What if he's the common problem in all of this? When every road leads to the same outcome, it's usually time to look inward instead of blaming everyone else. That no amount of made-up legal claims or confident speeches can change that reality. In the end, accountability matters, and pretending otherwise only makes the situation worse.
Okay.
So,
well, I have the evidence that she can address it towards me.
Mr. Martin, does Crystal Martin live at the home on Clifford Street?
Yes, she comes over like for a day or two, and my sister lets her come over, and she stays there for a day or two, yes, and then, here and there.
Okay, so your sister owns the home.
No, she doesn't own the home thing. So my understanding is the bank really owns it. It's always been like my parents' house. But I don't even think really my parents own it because they didn't finish paying off the mortgage or whatever. So I think technically it's the bank's house, but me and my brother and sister have been staying there for a long time. Me there for like 32 years. My parents have passed away now, so now it's like a fight with them two. They're trying to take over the whole house by coming with false allegations, by telling cops, oh, he assaulted me all the time. There's no evidence. It's not true. It's a lie. There's insufficient evidence in violation of my due process rights. But barred away arrested me anyways, and this is just what she wants. So they can have the whole house to themselves. I even filed a case with Crystal Martin.
All right, so you're not to have contact with Crystal Martin. You're not to return to 9074 Clipper in the city of Detroit, or in the city of Taylor, I'm sorry. You're allowed
Objection in violation of my due process. You cannot deny me my right to live at my house because of an unsupported allegation by her, which is a lie at that. Like I said, the cop had no sufficient evidence. She just told a lie, and the guy didn't even bark away. That is, the police officer just came to me and arrested me right off the bat. That violates my due process rights if sufficient evidence.
Sir, you're allowed one visit to the premises to obtain personal belongings. You must be accompanied by a police officer.
And I want part way. Well, hold on, I'm gonna let you finish. I'm just gonna finish what I got to say so you don't cut me off. And I want Bartley arrested for his illegal arrest. I want Bartley arrested for illegally arresting me. I want him charged for assault and battery, for illegally arresting me, and kidnapping.
Okay.
Because it was without my consent.
Mr. Martin, if you are not allowed at the 9074 Clippert Street address, where will you be staying?
I am allowed. I don't have nowhere else to live. That's my house. I'm allowed there. You ordered that, it's illegal. That violates my due process.
All right. He has a $2,000 cash bond with a GPS tether.
Yes,
and he's not to return.
Personal bond.
He's not to appear at
innocent without guilty.
He cannot come to 9074 Clippert or be in contact with Crystal Martin.
I couldn't help but notice how the officer quietly turned the camera away, almost as if even the equipment had reached its limit. But more importantly, this man clearly needs a serious reality check because nothing so far seems to be getting through to him. You would expect that being arrested and firmly corrected by a judge would cause some reflection. Yet he continues to act as though the law simply doesn't apply to him at all. But let's be honest, people who rely on these kinds of arguments love to talk about their rights. But courts are not required to entertain claims that have no legal foundation. Judges focus on facts, evidence, and established law, not personal beliefs or imagined shortcuts. No matter how long or loudly someone argues, the rules do not suddenly change. Watching him argue and then fall apart in front of everyone is uncomfortable, especially knowing that his family would likely be embarrassed and disappointed by what they're seeing. He's an adult facing a serious situation, yet his behavior comes across as someone who refuses to accept limits or calm down when things don't go his way. The unfortunate truth is that real court decisions have already made it clear these arguments fail every time that at this point. He's only making his situation harder while creating an awkward moment for everyone involved. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. How old do you think he was acting during this exchange? To me, it felt far less mature than how most adults handle real consequences. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I post every single day, so there's always something new to check out. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think he truly believed what he was saying? Or was he completely disconnected from reality? Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.